Coming up on Game Show Network's classic TV Dad special, here's the story of a man named Brady. Well, you know the rest. Robert Reed appears in this 1973 episode of I've Got a Secret.
I'm Robert Reed, and I've got a secret.
Hollywood, the show that reveals all. I've got a secret. And now let's meet the star of I've Got a Secret, Steve Allen. Good evening, and welcome to I've Got a Secret. There it is, right up there. I keep forgetting. Tonight's panelists are your good friend and mine, Jane Meadows, the very witty Henry Morgan.
Hi, darling.
Hi, sweetheart. Beautiful, bright and bubbly Anita Gillette. And that quick draw, quipster rich Hugh Dawson. There's our panel. We'll get right to work and bring out tonight's first contestants. Nice to have you with us, ladies. Would you tell the panelists your names, please?
Patricia May, Carol Wimbish, Jeannie Valdezan, Kit Kraus.
And there they are. Now, panel, these young ladies all work together in Laguna Hills, California, and they bring home some of their work just about every night. Their secret involves what it is that they bring home. If you'll whisper that secret to me, girls, we'll let the audience know what it is. All right. The audience now knows the secret, which concerns, as I said, what these ladies bring home from work each night. We'll start the questioning with Henry Morgan.
Well, Master, your technical facilities here are terrible.
You even affected you.
Kit. Are you Kit?
Yes.
When Mr. Allen, the gentleman on your right, says that you bring part of your work home, of course it's not money.
No.
No. Is it the result of something you've been doing during the day?
It could be, yes.
Well, it's very directly related to what they've been doing all day, yes.
Yeah. Do you have anything to do with anything that feeds people?
Not that feeds people, no.
Do the four of you work with other people? Or for other people?
Yes.
Now what, Henry?
I was just going to say the other people I met were people who are not doing what they're doing.
There are some such where they work, yes. Anita?
Jean, is there a product involved in what you do?
No.
There's no product at all. Then, Pat, you do some kind of service, right? I mean, you do something. You perform some kind of service where you work. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you use your hands when you're working on this thing?
Yes.
Is it intricate work? Do you use intricate work?
Nope.
Do you use any kind of equipment when you're doing this?
Sometimes.
You do. Do you touch people when you do this?
No.
You don't touch other people.
Two down, two to go.
Oh,
Richard?
I just wanted to find out what their service
Pat,
was.
would you consider touching other people? Is it anything to do with animals, ladies, your work?
Yes.
In any way? Are you nursemaids to animals of some kind?
Yes,
Are you?
you're very, very close.
They have a place my sons and I practically live at, Lion Country Safari. Do you work
Yes.
there? With
That's
baby
the idea.
animals?
Yes.
I've never seen them, but...
You've got about 98% of the secret, which is close enough. The secret is that they bring home baby wild animals. They are indeed nursery attendants at Lion Country Safari. And, Miss May, you are the nursery supervisor, is that it?
Yes, I am.
I see. How many animals are all you girls responsible for taking care of?
Approximately 400 in our department.
That's quite a few. We're going to be able to see some of the babies, are we? Good, okay. You girls can get some for us. Just at the word baby, the audience went, "Aw." I've never understood why babies start out by saying mama and dada. The first word they should say should be aw, because that's the word they hear all the time. You know. What's your latest house guest?
Right now, I'm taking home, among a couple other things, an iguana.
An iguana? Oh. Well, I hope it's home right now, as a matter of fact. Is it here around with us? Well, I guess we'll have to see it then.
All right.
Just for folks who like icky things.
That's right.
Oh, it's behind us. Oh, yes, there it is. You ever look around behind you and see a big iguana closing fast? No, that's Miss May, now that I look back there.
Oh, my dear.
Oh.
This is Samantha. Isn't she beautiful?
I don't think so, no.
All right.
She's in the wrong union already there. Why would you take an animal like that home? Take your hands off that, Samantha.
She's new to the park, and we have some other dominant iguanas in where she is, and they've been keeping her from eating.
Aw.
So I wanted to take her home every night until I know she's fattened up enough, and then we'll put her back in with the others.
What does she eat at your house or wherever?
Anything she likes.
Right.
She eats insects, lettuce, fruits, small rodents.
May I ask a small
Yes, Henry.
question? Is there a big difference between a boy and a girl iguana?
Yes, the spurs back here are larger on a male, and underneath their legs right here, the spurs, the spines, are much larger on their back.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's funny. I think a big iguana is hideous, but a baby anything is kind of cute, isn't it?
Well, I think they're all beautiful, Jane. I think all animals are beautiful.
Even a big iguana?
We have some larges, and I think they're beautiful. And they're lovable.
I imagine they are. Has anything strange ever happened to you at your house when you had a bunch of animals there?
Yes.
Such
One
as?
recent thing that happened, I had a baby chimpanzee home with me, Steve. And we had company. We were all sitting on the water couch. And unbeknownst to any of us, the baby chimpanzee stuck a fountain pen into the water couch in about 3 places. And we all got wet at one time. Everybody started feeling their derrieres, and everybody was soaking wet. And we realized what had happened. The couch was ruined. And
I
it started
see.
slowly going down.
And the program is in danger, too, now. Well, that's all right. Well, let's go over and see the rest of the babies. Can we open the Great Wall and see what luck we have over there? And again, the great big awe came up from the audience. What do you have here, Carol?
It's a young female cougar, and her name's Euripides. She's about 6 months old.
I know. We called her that because she ripped these pants a little earlier when we had... How old is she?
About 6 months.
Cute faces. They're adorable. And what do you have here?
This is Rocky the raccoon. He's about 3 years.
I see. I noticed that this little person is making noises. What are they... What's she... Now she's just thinking it over.
Over here.
How
this
old's the
one.
raccoon?
Baby.
About 3 years old.
3 years old. And we have here the cutest animal in the whole planet, a baby lion, huh? How old?
She's about two and a half months old.
Cutting an album.
That's adorable. Well, ladies, we're a little bit late, but we thank you so much for joining us. It's really been wild, if I may say so, and thanks to Lion Country Safari. Thank you.
I've Got a Secret will continue in just 1 minute.
Eat all of your vegetables or no dessert for you. Clappy Dads continues on Game Show Network.
What is your name, sir?
Francis Dellenbach.
Panel, this is Mr. Dallenbach, and he's been to Hallenbach, and I want you to hear all the details. Now, I just said that to be silly, sir. Where are you from?
Chugwater, Wyoming.
Chugwater, Wyoming. Marvelous name for a town. The Dellenbachs live in quite an unusual home in Chugwater. It originally cost, believe it or not, $5.5 million. But they were able to pick it up for just a little over $3,000. So their secret concerns this bargain home, of course. If you'll whisper your secret to me, Mr. Dellenbach, we'll let the audience know what it is. Oh, it's interesting. Well, panel, the audience now is well aware of what the secret is. It involves, as I say, the Dellenbach home. And we'll start the questioning with Richard.
Yes, Mr. Dallenbach, when I hear of something costing $5 million and being sold for $3 million, I immediately think of our military and the Pentagon. They make those great deals, you know, that way. Would it have been a form of a base that you bought and converted into a home?
Yes.
Would it?
You're very
well, I
warm.
rest my case then.
Yeah?
Was it a missile base?
Yes.
Yep, that's it.
Hardly worth the journey up here, was it?
We won't be needing Jane, Henry, or Anita this evening. Richard, you'll handle the rest of it all by yourself. No, the Dellenbacks actually live in an underground missile silo, which was a little added detail we didn't want to trouble you with. And just so you won't think we made up this crazy secret, we have the photographic proof. We'll just show these pictures more or less one by one, and you can tell us what we're looking at, Mr. Dellenback. Is that the view up on top?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And what are we looking at here?
That's the big door where the missile went in.
That's where the missile...
Partly open.
I see. Are we looking down into that, or is it a...
You're looking horizontal.
Horizontally at it?
Yes.
Okay. And what is this tunnel thing here?
That connected the two buildings, the launch operations building and the launch and service building.
That's a horizontal tunnel?
Yes.
What's that thing down at the end of it?
That's our deep freezing.
I've heard of deep freezes, but that's the deepest you'll ever see, folks. And over here we have something or other. In just a moment, we'll be able to see a picture of it. What is that?
That's my wife standing at the elevator gate.
That's Mrs. Dellenback, or Mrs. Dellenback. And we have one more picture, which is...
That's our bedroom.
Your bedroom. Looks very comfortable indeed. Now, this was a site, I understand, for an old Atlas ICBM, and then the government sold it when the missile became obsolete, right?
Yes.
Why would you buy a... I mean, the bargain is hard to pass up. Any bargain is hard to pass up, but why would you really want to live underground?
I make high-precision parts with a Swiss screw machine, and we need a constant temperature.
Oh, well, that's one way to get it, I guess. You have your own machine shop then down there,
yes.
too. I see. What is home life like down there? Can you tell us?
Well, just like any place else except...
How many rooms have you?
Oh, quite a few. And they're big.
Are there any advantages to living down there? I mean, you don't have much of a view, and your neighbors do look down on you. There's no doubt about that. But what are the pluses, if any?
Well, noon is just like midnight. We can sleep late and still get a day's work done.
Yeah. Are there any problems? Anything ever go wrong?
Well, we had a lot of fixing up, and we had to build the elevator to make it useful. The only entrance before we built the elevator was that long tunnel.
I just thought of a great advantage of living underground.
What's that?
Well, when you pass away, they don't have to bury you. They just throw you out of the window.
That's funny. And Richard, another factor is that their big day is not New Year's, it's Groundhog Day. Look around and then go right down again. Well, Mr. Dellenback, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Where, I don't know.
We'll be back with our guest star, Robert Reed, right after these messages.
When I was 18 months old, I lost my...
TV Dads continues on Game Show Network.
Very much, Johnny. Now let's welcome tonight's guest celebrity, who stars in the Brady Bunch and is also featured on Mannix. Welcome, please, Robert Reed. Up in there. Nice to have you with us, Bob. Welcome to I've Got a Secret. As you can see, the panel's chairs are all empty. We've sent them off to the old soundproof room so that you could feel free to explain your secret to everyone here.
Well, Steve, since I've been playing a police lieutenant on Mannix, I've become interested in the techniques of crime fighting. So tonight I thought we might have fun revealing how police can create surprisingly accurate drawings of suspects' faces simply from the way they're described by witnesses.
I see.
To help me do this, I brought along an identification expert from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Detective Division, and I'd like you to meet him.
Sure, let's do that. I'll get a microphone for our mouths here. Okay.
Steve, this is Deputy Richard Rui of the Bureau's Identification Section.
Nice to have you here, Deputy. I see this is the device you use in your hand, huh?
It's called an identikit. It has samples of dozens of different facial features, hairlines, and so on.
Could we let the audience peek into the interior? This is what it looks like, kind of a filing system with categories.
When the witness describes the suspect, we pick out the different features, and this way we're able to create a likeness of the suspect.
In other words, they say he had a small chin or a large nose or ears that stuck out or something like that.
Right.
You've got all that stuff in there, right?
But to save time tonight on the description, Deputy Rui's only going to give me 3 choices from each feature.
Ah, okay. Well, then we have to have some kind of a suspect, do we?
Well, that's the secret, you see. While the panel is questioning me, we'll be assembling a sketch of our suspect and culprit,
Who's that?
Morgan.
Henry Morgan.
Right.
Well, that ought to make Henry feel wanted, if nothing else will, I guess.
Oh, incidentally, Steve, I won't be looking at the panel. I'll be doing this just like a witness does, you know, from memory.
As if you can't, you haven't seen him. Yeah, very good
Right.
point. Good idea. Okay, Johnny, you can signal over there that the soundproof room can be opened. It'd be funny if some night they opened the door, they were all in their necking, not paying any attention to anything. And I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Okay, Steve, pardon me. The panel's on the way in now.
All right, fine. Get out of there, wiping your clay. Now, sit down and put a stop to that. I know what you're up to, Richard.
What in the world?
Well, sir, you know, of course, panel, you know Mr. Robert Reed.
Yes.
And Robert's secret concerns something that he's doing with this gentleman whose back is to you. That is a gentleman named Richard Rui. And your clue, the only clue you'll get, is that they are assembling something which this camera here, TV camera, will be showing to our audience here and around the country. And we'll start the questioning this time. Let's see, who did we say we would start the questioning with? Jane this time? Okay, start the questioning with Jane.
Hard one. Start with me. Well, now, let's see. You are doing something that we can't see, and Robert's not doing very much with it unless his feet are involved, because he's not moving his arms. Is it mechanical, the thing that you're assembling?
Not really, no.
Is it something like a game of some kind?
No, I wouldn't call it a game.
It's more like a game than a watermelon, but it's not much like a game.
Yeah. So, in other words, it's not like a game at all. And it's not mechanical. Is it something we would be very familiar with?
You would certainly know about it, I would think.
Would it be in the animal family?
No.
Vegetable?
This one.
Well, in that context, it's in the animal family, but only in that context. We're not talking about teddy bears, you know.
What context? It's,
She said animal or vegetable.
He's assembling an animal? That's ridiculous.
No, I say in the context of animal, vegetable, or mineral, it falls within the animal context, in a sense.
I see what you mean.
In fact, forget the whole question.
I
and the
don't.
answer.
And it's not my turn anyway, right?
It is.
It is my turn.
Yes,
Okay.
I got the buzzer.
If it's in the animal, is it any kind of food?
No, forget that whole area. It'll just take you around the block and you'll never get on it. Just start a whole new track.
Oh, all right. Good evening.
Hello, Henry.
How
are you, Ben?
Robert?
This one.
Bye.
Yes. This thing that you're doing, that you're helping this gentleman with,
Yes.
when he's finished with it, with your help, will it be of any special value to anybody?
What do you say, Bob?
Yes, it would. This is a sample of what would be of value to somebody. Whether this is or not, we'll leave up to you, Henry.
Okay.
all
Thank you,
right.
Henry. It's Anita's turn.
Is it,
This one.
you're putting together, is it like pieces of something you're putting together is it like a puzzle?
It is pieces of something, yes, Anita.
Is it like a puzzle?
That would be a
of some sort?
game.
I've always thought it a very puzzling thing, yeah.
Yeah. Is it, does it have moving parts?
Slow-moving parts, I would say.
Slow
Yeah.
moving parts. Gee whiz.
Okay, Richard Dawson.
I didn't.
Yeah, but it's not a game, and it's not a puzzle. Is it something, Robert, that we could buy in a store and assemble?
I doubt whether you could do that, Richard. No. This is more used along the professional line, if I can give you a clue.
Well, all right, in the profession, would it be medical?
No.
Bet I know.
What do you think it is, Jane?
Is it some, the portraits like the detectives or police use in newspapers?
Yes,
Putting
that's
their
it.
faces together.
Oh, is it?
Ah.
My dentist.
Now, whose face is he doing? That's the thing, right?
Robert and Deputy Richard Rui of the Sheriff's Department were, as Jane figured out, assembling a sketch of a really notorious criminal, and his name is Henry Morgan.
Oh.
That's the man.
Whitey's darling!
Yeah. In real life?
Well, if you ever get him, I'd certainly like to meet this.
Handsome fellow.
Also Kissinger.
And he did all this with the device, or an assortment of devices, perhaps, called an identikit. It's a collection of facial features, different kinds of hair, nose, ears, mouths, lips, whatever.
Yeah. What am I allegedly guilty of?
Everything.
Malfeasance in office and mopery.
Mopery, yes.
Especially Moultrie. Before the show, incidentally, we had Deputy Rui here put together a likeness of what he thought the notorious Richard Dawson would look like, and here's what he would look like were he on a wanted poster.
Oh, which could happen at any minute. Let's see how
I am on a wanted post.
There you go.
We have a picture here with another camera. We'll punch up in just a moment.
Oh, good.
There he is.
That's the person who attacked me last night. He's doing it
Now
again.
you know why he looked familiar. Well, thank you very much, Robert, and thank you, Deputy Rui, for this fascinating demonstration. We appreciate it. Nice to have you with us.
I've got a secret Rabbit returns after these words.
Eat all of your veg continues on Game Show Network.
We're a little late, so we have our next guest already out here. We'll refer to this lady as Mrs. X, panel. Where are you from, Mrs. X?
New York.
New York City, all right. Her secret is that she is the mother of a famous film star. If you'll whisper your secret to me, Mrs. X,
Yes,
we'll let the
yes.
audience know what it is.
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. All right. I repeat, the mother of a famous film star. We'll start the questioning very quickly with Anita.
Okay, Mrs. X, you have a son?
Yes.
It's a son. Is
Yes.
he a leading man type?
Yes.
Is he a big person, tall?
Yes.
Yes, is he like John Wayne?
Not as tall.
No,
Not
Richard
strong.
Dawson.
Just tall.
My love, would he have been one of the actors in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
No, darling, no.
You should have had one of those. They were winners. No, I'm sure yours. Is the gentleman currently in a film now that we would be able to see?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Janie
trying
Bird?
so hard to hear Mrs. X talk a little more, because it seems to me that's not
I'm
New York-
sorry.
That's not a New York accent, is it?
No, it must be California accent because I'm here.
I mean,
She's been out here for quite a few years.
but it's from another country. Isn't that accent from
Yes,
another country?
yes, Hungary.
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 Well, that's a clue. Is it, who's Hungarian?
Who is
Yul
it?
Brynner? No. Who's a Hungarian?
We just have time for a quick
Who's
question
Hungarian?
from Henry.
The only Hungarian I can think of is Lawrence Harvey, and this lady's too young.
For what?
For Lawrence Harvey's
You're right.
mother.
Yes, I
she's
know,
too young.
I know.
Yes.
Hungarians. I'm fresh out of Hungarians.
Hungry.
Well, we're fresh out of time. She is the mother of the very famous and successful film star, Mr. Tony Curtis. I understand. I understand, Mrs. Schwartz, that Tony inherited his love of the theater from his father. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes.
His father was an actor?
Yes.
In what city?
Hungary. Budapest.
Budapest. Ah. We have a picture of, of Tony at what early age here?
16.
16 years old. And already destined for trouble, folks. There he is. No, destined for stardom, obviously.
Yes.
What was your biggest trouble with Tony when he was a teenager and about that age?
Oh, about that age, he brought girls. Every day, room was full of girls.
And that's trouble? Not where I come from. That's marvelous. Well, we have run out of time, Ms. Schwartz. Give our love to
Thank you
Tony, and it's so
very
nice to have you with us. See you next week, panel. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
This is Johnny Olson speaking for I've Got a Secret, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. This program was recorded